Folks, welcome back. We got some big news. First and foremost, we are going to see something we have not seen since the pandemic, and that is Mega Evolutions is going to be released in waves. Wave 1 and Wave 2. They are not going to dump all of the product all at once at the original pre-release and release like they have been doing for the past 3 to 4 years. Also, we do finally have some official reprints that are coming. No, these are not rumors, and no, they are not being just given out to big box stores. These will come down the distribution chain and be distributed out to all of the LGSs and everyone with distribution accounts. And so let's talk about what this means and what sets are being reprinted. So first off, the Mega Evolution set. We have not seen waved releases since back when 2021, 2022 was happening, and the hype was at all-time highs, and it did end up cooling off around that time, leading to speculation that maybe this is kind of a sign that we're going back to those times. Are things going to start cooling off? At the same time, people are saying, well, Mega Evolutions is only going to have 60% of its product released at pre-release or release time, meaning 40% of it is going to be released weeks later. You may get it over a month later. Now, over the course of the set being released, it's not going to affect it that much because, again, we are supposed to be getting more product than we got for Destined Rivals. And, over the course of both the releases, both waves, you will have more product overall on the market. This may mean something, though, for pre-release release time, because you guys know how it is. When a new set's released, everybody wants to open it immediately. Everybody wants to get their hands on the hit cards immediately, grade them immediately, all those good things. And there may be some shortages at release time, which means how the pre-release prices, at least on TCG Player, have kind of been trending down. I believe right now they're just under $230 a box. We could see those prices start to actually reverse and rise again moving into release, because people may start to panic that they might not be able to get their hands on product, especially if they need product at release for their streams, for their stores, or just want to get their hands on the product immediately and get their hands on the cards immediately. Now, when the next wave comes, in weeks or a month or whatever it is, it'll likely correct things and probably, reestablish a lower price. But it's going to be interesting to see how that all plays out with only getting 60% of the release and then having to wait for the rest. And we're not talking about waiting for other products, kind of like they do with these specialty sets where they give you the ETBs, but make you wait for the bundles or other collection boxes. No. They're giving us 60% of the booster boxes, meaning there is going to be a shortage of packs, there's going to be a shortage of boxes, and they are going to be harder to come by, at least for the first month or so of the release, which, again, long-term, how that plays out, not going to be that big of a deal. Short-term, probably going to be a pretty good big deal. All right. Next, the reprints. So it is confirmed that we are getting Surging Sparks Elite Trainer Box reprints. And then there is some confusion. Some distributors are saying Twilight Masquerade ETB reprints. Others, we've heard Temporal Forces ETB reprints. I think it's supposed to be Twilight Masquerade, but it could also be Temporal Forces. I don't know. It seems like it is 100% Surging Sparks, though. And so all the reprints are going to be ETBs. From what I've been hearing, they are going to be ETBs, no booster boxes. What does that mean? That means hopefully you'll be able to get your hands on cheaper packs, and it'll likely lower the cost of packs overall. And it'll also likely lower the card price with a lot more product being introduced to the market, the packs being cheaper, a lot more will probably be opened, which will introduce many, many more singles to the market, raising the supplies. And since the sets have already been out, they're not at their extreme height of hype anymore. And so you'll likely see some of the singles start to trend down, at least in the near term. From what I'm hearing, these are pretty sizable reprints, meaning you will probably likely see lower costs on the ETBs as well, with being some more plentiful. What does this mean for the boxes, though? It's hard to tell. It's hard to tell because you would think the boxes might possibly drop, because if the cards and the packs drop, that would mean, the things inside the box that actually make up the value of the box would drop as well. But there is another thing that runs the sealed hobby, which most of you know, and that is scarcity. And that is the supply that is actually available to purchase. And with us still getting no booster box reprints and no more booster boxes being introduced to the market, it makes me feel a lot more confident holding this stuff. If they only reprint Twilight Masquerade, Temporal Forces, or Surging Sparks ETBs, I'm not going to feel that worried at all about my booster box positions. As we've seen over time, if booster boxes don't get a reprint, just like Sword and Shield Base or Rebel Clash did not, they usually appreciate very quickly. If you haven't looked at Sword and Shield Base set lately, it's over a $600 booster box. I mean, it's keeping up with sets like Lost Origin and Fusion Strike almost. And it is one of the weakest sets in the era, pretty much unanimously agreed upon. And so if they continue down this road of printing ETBs and putting out products in all of their big box stores like booster bundles, different collection boxes, different tins and other items like that, I do believe we'll eventually see cheaper packs. So that'd be great for everyone to be able to open cheaper. I think we'll see cheaper cards, great for all the collectors, but I'm not sure we're going to see cheaper booster boxes, guys. And I already know the comments. You're already leaving them. Alex, there he is. There he goes, trying to protect his positions. I'm really not, guys, because my positions are meant for like years and years in the future. I really have no care at all on what the market fluctuates in the next 1, 2, 3 years. I don't care. I know everyone thinks I care. I truly don't care. I have no reason. I have no plans on selling anything in the next 1, 2, 3, probably even 5 years, because it just doesn't make sense to me, right? It doesn't make sense to sell off investments, have an income event, and then have to find ways to either put that money into other places or pay a bunch of taxes, right? I'm not going to do that. I don't need to sell, and I truly believe in this stuff for the future. And so, will we see corrections on booster boxes? I don't think so, but it's a possibility. Will we see corrections on everything else? Likely, yes. ETBs, of course. Loose packs, yeah. Singles, most likely, right? But as far as Mega Evolutions goes, guys, let's see. If you are not in a rush to get your hands on a box, I would join the I'm gonna wait crowd. I'm gonna wait. And I would wait until the second wave is released, which will likely correct the price. If you are looking to have boxes for either any type of retail or online business, if you are looking to open, boxes and pull the cards and sell them or grade them immediately and try to make a play there, it might, again, not trying to create FOMO, it might be cheaper right now than it is at release. Just going to say that. I think once the news starts to get out more publicly and starts to get more widespread, I do believe a lot more people will probably start to buy, and also a lot more stores will start to reduce the inventories they put out once they get the word from their distributors that they're only getting 60% at release, which could lead to some sort of a frenzy getting your hands on a box early, especially pre-release at release. And we could actually see a price jump from where it's at right now for a small period of time. Now, I think when the rest of the product comes out, it will likely correct back. But it just depends on how you want to play those swings and when you need and don't need product. And so that's my take on everything, guys. That is the information I know. As you guys know, I always give it to you straight. I always give you all the information as I get it and give you my honest takes. Those are them. Use them how you see fit. That's all I got. Hope it helps. I'm out.